Dennis Rodman says Donald Trump is the best negotiator in the world as basketball wild man arrives for meeting with pal Kim Jong-un. Basketball wild man Dennis Rodman has arrived in Singapore as his pals Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un prepare to meet. The NBA legend told Sun Online he wants a front row seat for the historic event and hailed the U.S. president as the best negotiator in the world. He said, "I and #X27 am out there for the next 3 days as I didn't want to miss such a historic event. I and #X27 am one of a few people on the planet friends with President Trump and Marshal Kim Jong-un." Rodman added, "I know President Trump is the best negotiator in the world and looking forward to a historic outcome for the world." He emerged from the baggage claim area at Changi Airport around midnight surrounded by media. Dennis told reporters he wasn't an #X27 t-shirt if he would meet either world leader during his stay, but said he wanted to be close for the meeting. The NBA superstar formed a bromance with North Korea leader after a trip to the rogue nation back in 2013 and since then has been back to hang out with Kim 4 times. Describing his relationship, which blossomed over a shared passion for basketball, Rodman told Good Morning Britain, "I hang out with him all the time. We laugh, we sing karaoke, we do a lot of cool things together like skiing and riding horses." Rodman is even responsible for the union between Trump and Kim, after giving the NK leader a copy of the President and #X27's book The Art of the Deal for his birthday last year. Rodman said, "I think Kim didn't realize who Donald Trump was at that time, I guess, until he started to read the book and started to get to understand him." Hours before the summit, the North Korean leader was spotted taking selfies in Singapore as it's revealed he'll spend a full 3 hours chatting with Donald Trump. But with just hours to go before the highly anticipated event, Kim looked fairly relaxed as he headed out on a late-night tour of the city. The two leaders will reportedly be alone in a room for 45 minutes with only their translators, according to one U.S. official. Trump earlier has said there was excitement in the air hours after touching down in Singapore. The Donald will turn 72 on Thursday, June 14, and a picture of him smiling as he was handed the dessert was tweeted out by Singapore and #X27's foreign minister. He wrote, "Celebrating birthday, a bit early," as he posted a snap of the presidential birthday boy flanked by Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and his Chief of Staff John Kelly. Trump sounded optimistic at the lunch, saying, "We and #X27 got a very interesting meeting in particular tomorrow, and I think things can work out very nicely." The U.S. President and #X27's plane Air Force One touched down at the Paya Lebar Air Base in the city-state shortly before 8:30 p.m. local time ahead of the crunch nuclear talks on Tuesday. He later tweeted, "Great to be in Singapore, excitement in the air." Asked by a reporter how he is feeling about the summit, Trump said, "Very good. Great to be in Singapore, excitement in the air." He then got into his waiting limousine which took him to the city and #X27's Shangri-La Hotel located less than 10 minutes walk from where his North Korean counterpart is staying. North Korean state media has said the meeting between the pair could herald the start of a new relationship between the two states. The KCNA report noted the summit is being held under the great attention and expectation of the whole world. It also offered a list of talking points, saying Kim and Trump will exchange wide-ranging and profound views on establishing a new relationship, the issue of building a permanent and durable peace mechanism and realizing the denuclearization of the Korean peninsula. Just hours before the meeting between the pair, Trump forecast a nice outcome from what he said would be a very interesting meeting with Kim Jong-un, while Kim spent Monday out of public view. A second round of meetings are planned for the afternoon after an initial sit-down earlier in the day. Paranoid Kim, who is reportedly terrified he will be assassinated while overseas, brought an army of bodyguards with him on his longest ever trip abroad as leader of the crackpot country. He was welcomed at Singapore and #X27's Changi Airport, wearing his trademark Mao suit with buttoned-up jacket, by Minister Balakrishnan. The two decoy aircrafts, including Kim's outdated Soviet-era Ilyushin-62 dubbed Air Force One, also flew from Pyongyang to Southeast Asia. Kim is said to be extremely worried about being murdered while in Singapore. Bloomberg cited two U.S. officials close to the negotiations as saying Kim is concerned about security at the summit and is fearful of assassination attempts. The dictator, who does not have an air force to command, may be vulnerable to attack because he is traveling on a civilian airline, Business Insider reports. A massive security team flanked the dictator's limousine on his way to the St. Regis Hotel where he will be a guest during the summit. Armed cops carrying machine guns surrounded the hotel ahead of Kim's visit. Kim and X-27's every move will be followed by 3,000 journalists who have converged on Singapore, and by gawkers around the world, up until he shakes hands with Trump on Tuesday. He has only publicly left his country 3 times since taking power after his father and X-27's death in late 2011, twice traveling to China and recently to the southern part of the demilitarized zone for talks with South Korean leader Moon Jae-in. Trump and the North Korean leader will meet at the 5-star Capella Hotel on the island of Sentosa to discuss the rogue state's nuclear weapons program. Scheduled for 9 a.m. on Tuesday morning local time, this will be the first time a sitting U.S. president has met with a member of the Kim dynasty. The summit will kick off with a handshake between Trump and Kim before a 2-hour meeting one-on-one with translators. Advisors to each of the leaders will then be admitted to the meeting, a U.S. official told the Associated Press. The meeting was initially meant to rid North Korea of its nuclear weapons, but in recent weeks Trump has downplayed the significance of the talks, insisting the summit is more of a get-to-know-you session. Trump has also raised the possibility of further meetings and an agreement ending the Korean War by replacing the 1953 armistice with a peace treaty. You can WhatsApp us on 0781079150